This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the twilight.
I got love for you, no lie. I give my best, I try. Someday we'll touch the sky. You're an angel, little baby. Wipe all your tears away. I know it's been crazy, but keep your head up high.
Foot chase through the projects, dodging foreign objects. Street knowledge, I should've went to college. Odds stacked against me, surviving off instinct. 3 blocks from the precinct. Lil' homie caught a case, elders lost family members. Product of his environment, projects produce violence in the middle of the streets, cause that's how we eat. Just heard rap about the trap, don't mean I ain't about peace.
We must stand together, all together.
Everybody grab somebody, turn his mother into a party. Let's take a lady.
Y'all don't know how we be jamming.
They really don't know how we be jamming. Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
And this is Kiana.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That.
See That.
And we like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because smart is
the new
gangsta.
Baby.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. It's Monday.
It is. It's Motivational Monday. Get up out that bed.
It is.
You remember that one? The wake up calls on WRXB?
Yep.
Get up out that bed. I'm calling to tell so and so to get up out that bed.
You know what? WRXB was my first radio experience when I was in high school. Maurice Sebastian.
Yeah, he gave a lot of people their first radio experience.
And so it was a group of us high school students.
Okay.
I had to be probably in the 9th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, me, my brother Jerish, and a couple other people went out there and they showed us everything about radio. Let us get on there for a second. That was my first little taste. And that's when WRXB was over there in the cut.
Oh, right. Off 37. Yeah. Really right around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, because before they ended, they were here in this.
Yeah, it was in the same space. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember I came over here for an interview with Brian J.
Brian J.
Yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a radio voice for real.
Oh, yeah. He kind of got Carlos voice.
Yeah, he do. Yeah, he got it for real. So, but yeah, I remember winning tickets off of WRXB and going over there. My first time I went over there, I won something off of there, and I went and got some tickets. And then after that, I was like, okay, it's kind of cool. And then when they came over here, that's when I was in studio doing some stuff.
Yep.
That was my first radio experience as well.
Okay.
WRXB.
Good morning, Tiff.
And if you came in, we had a little residuals from that Super Dave mix, man. So shout out to Super Dave. He does the morning mix with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. He keeps the energy rolling, the vibes going. And you can actually catch Super Dave on the Old School Flavor Show on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on 99 Jams. Thank you, Super Dave, for what you do to get us going in the morning. Because sometimes I need that wake up.
But you know what we need? Like when you come in here, you listen to the mix. It just kind of make you groove. Like you were like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets you ready.
It does.
Get you ready for the day. Speaking of getting ready for the day, man, we want to shout out some amazing people. Happy birthday to Miss Teresa Jones. And belated at this point.
Yeah.
But every day your birthday.
Yeah.
That's what my father-in-law said.
Every day your birthday.
Yeah.
Every day you get up.
Yeah. And Crutel, shout out to Crutel Mac, the fruit man.
The
Fruitel.
and the personal trainer.
Yes.
He's trying to get your mind, body, and soul together.
Exactly. Holistic. He's taking a holistic approach to health and wellness. I love it. So Tiffany, tag a few friends. Let them know that we up. Tag somebody. Let us know.
Good morning, Tony.
Brown. What's good, man? T Brown, Grand Rising. Shout out to Competitive Readers.
Yeah.
What's happening with you, my brother?
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you, man. And yeah. Would you rather?
Would you rather?
So, Would You Rather? Segment brought to you by Jerish Martin. So, when you're looking for high quality entertainment curation and top tier event stage management, look no further than Jerish Martin LLC. They offer professional entertainment, consulting, artist coordination, and event management services to bring your next event to the life. I just messed that all up.
That's okay. They got it.
Ensuring a seamless, exciting experience for your audience. All right. Would you rather?
Yes.
Would you rather have a job you love but make just enough to get by, or a high-paying job you hate?
So it would be a job I love.
Okay.
Realistically.
Okay.
But in these times, a job I hate that makes me
just as it stands at the
current climate.
Yeah. A job.
Give me the job that pays.
High-paying job that you hate.
Yeah.
You take it?
Maybe. I don't walked away from high-paying jobs. I definitely have.
Okay, just
I have
hating the job and not I'm just not gonna do this.
You know what? In this day and age, and I'm playing for the last since 2014, I haven't done anything that I don't love.
Oh, that's a blessing.
Like everything that I do now is everything that like I'm passionate about.
Yeah, that's a blessing. That is absolutely a blessing. So put it in the chat, Tiffany, Tonio, y'all let us know, man. What y'all doing?
So what are you doing?
The bank account saying, "Suck it up, go get it."
Suck it up, buttercup.
But the heart is saying, "Stick with it."
Yeah.
So that's a tough one though. I'm with Tiffany. She said depends on what the high-paying job entails, but you hate it. Whatever it is, if you hate it.
You know what? When you hate it, a lot of times, like you get stuck. That is, I done did stuff that I don't like.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean.
Yeah. But hate it is a strong one.
It is a strong.
It ain't
one.
just don't like it. It says a high-paying job you hate. I take the I do the job I love and just get by. Because that high-paying job you hate, like the stress that come with that, and
then so we go too deep in it, but when you think about the high-paying job that you hate, it will reflect on everything else in your life because you usually probably can't take out your frustration there
at the job. That's
job.
Probably one of the things you hate about it, right? You can't really. Yeah.
And then you go home, and because you have not released that, somebody has to get it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm with you, Tony. Tony said, "I'm only doing what I love, to be honest. Being true to myself means so much more than making the money to me." Right on. And then Yubi, if you love it, it's not work. Oh, but work is work. I could handle the one I hate.
Oh, he can handle it.
You can handle it. Yeah.
I mean, you can handle it. It's just like, because I mean, people.
If you got a preference, if you had a decision, it was your choice to say, okay, I got two options.
Yeah.
I can take this job I love, but I'm only going to make enough to get by, or they're going to pay me real good, but I'm going to hate going in every day. Like, that's the choice point.
Yeah.
And I'm at a spot where I probably would just go ahead and choose the job I love. And just
that's why, because actually I love everything I do right now. Yeah. I love everything I do. I love.
Yeah, no, because that's tough though. Because if you again going into a job that you hate, that's
late.
That's
you know how like you get up and
hard life.
Oh, but
because your job is what, like 8 hours out of your 24?
Sometimes more than that.
8-10 out of your that's a large part of your life.
Yeah, it really
is. You know what I'm saying? 60-70% of your life, and you doing that, going in hating it every day, but you can
tell what
I guess what high paying is too. how high is the pay?
Yeah. But you can tell what we do because
Yeah.
because a lot of people go in there and do jobs they don't like and they hate.
Yeah,
Most people.
I was about to say that, but I bit my tongue.
But a lot
Most
of people
don't really like their job. You think? Y'all like y'all job? Let us know. Put it in the chat. Are you doing something right now that you all right with? Do you love your job or do you hate it, but you doing it because you got to do it?
Yeah, like I think we teach our children so backwards a lot of times. Not like we force them into the college, and listen, I'm not saying college you don't need to go to college. Right. But we tell them to like get all this debt, then force them into like some kind of career. And a lot of people going to college, let's call a spade, is they're getting degrees that they can work in the field without the degree in.
Okay, you don't really need the degree to do the job.
And I just feel like when you finish high school and stuff like that, go find yourself, explore. You don't have no real responsibility. If you didn't have, like, if you wasn't a teen parent or something like that, like, you can really go out there and enjoy life and then come back. College ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
college not going nowhere.
Yeah.
You could go explore, do all this other stuff, come back, settle down, and then be like, I did it.
Yeah.
And then you get people who go to college, find their boyfriend or their wife, have children, get locked in these miserable jobs, and then they have this midlife crisis.
Yeah.
And be like, this is not what I want to do, but they can't follow their passion or their dream because they have priorities at this time that trump.
Now you have to.
Happiness.
Yeah. Your nice to have is now a must have.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it trump your happiness, and a lot of times you don't have a partner that say, hey, yo, baby, I got you.
Right.
Go do it. Because in this climate, everything is so expensive. Who can really do that?
That's almost like what Tiffany said. She said, I did to just get by. I loved it, but it caused some struggles. I need to be able to survive, so I'll build to eventually go back to what I love.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Tiffany, if she did it,
Tonio, he says jobs that I hate probably goes against my morals or ethics. That's why you hate it.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's another consideration, right?
That is.
Yeah, because like you.
I don't really do nothing that against my morals and my. Oh no.
Whatever the pay is.
Whatever the pay, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, no, I hear that. All right, so that's the would you rather. Y'all tag a friend, tell a friend, and y'all had that conversation when you're on your break. Tell them you heard it from the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
You say, I love my job. The benefits outweigh
the negative. Yeah, that's it. I'm with you on that.
Yep, that's why.
Say that's why I said work is work. I would take the job I hate if it paid, because work is work. Work is work. People, and this is adulting too. So who made that? Who made that rule? Why can't work be played? I play every day. Okay. I play every day at work. Okay. Right. I lied to you not. Yeah. I lied to you not. I play every day at work. Yeah. But everybody doesn't have that luxury, and that's a part of. Is that a mindset though? Like, do you walk in saying, "Okay, this has to be work, so it has to be hard, it has to be serious," or can you like flip it and be like, "Okay, I'm gonna make the most out of this. I'm gonna enjoy my situation." Like, is it a perspective thing? It's definitely a perspective. Yeah. Like so if you are a Debbie Downer, you're going to be at a Debbie Downer job. You're going to be a Debbie Downer regardless. Wherever you go. The job you love. You're going to find something to be down about. Right. That's true. If your perspective of life is negative, you're going to see the negative stuff that's going to happen. You're looking for it. That's a hard way to. I can't imagine. I mean, there's people like that for real. You're right. But I can't imagine being like that. Like, I always try to find the bright side. Me too. Yeah, like, but you know what? And they probably feel the same thing. Like, yeah, you living in La La Land. Oh, like, you know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, we the crazy ones because we looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. Right. But as soon as you say it's a light at the end of the tunnel, to some people, they say, oh, that's just the train coming. Yeah. But it's still a light. So it gave me in some way so you know that you can get out. Like, right. So that's my answer to that. Right. It's like, hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, it's probably a train. Okay, the train had to get now, didn't it? Like, it's people like that in the world. It is people like that in the world. So you like sit up there, you think about it like it. Yeah, that's true. So let us know, y'all. Thank y'all for that. Thank you for the engagement, and thank you, Jerish Martin, for your contribution.
Mm-hmm.
613, we definitely gonna be pushing that out. I gotta upload this interview. We did a great interview with Rakisha Fuller, and she was just talking about the inspiration for the event, why she's doing it, and it's gonna be really good. I just gotta get it out. But 613 is is presented by Keyshawn's Corner. It's the second annual Youth Mental Health Awareness and Suicide Prevention Resource Fair. It's going to be Saturday, June 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Lake Vista. There's live DJ, free food, remembrance walk, community resources, workshops, and support services. Absolutely a powerful gathering. It's free and open to everybody, designed to raise awareness, reduce stigma, and support youth and families that are dealing with mental health challenges and suicide prevention. Registration is required, so there's a QR code. We'll post that again, but you can also go to Keyshawn's Corner. That's corner with the K, so Keyshawn'sCorner.org for more information and to sign up. But let's come together, y'all, protect our youth and strengthen our community, and share that information with a friend, because it's definitely a powerful event. And I'm really just so proud of Keisha, because I remember when she was starting, and she was telling me that she was going to start. She was like, I'm going to start a nonprofit. I don't know what I'm doing, but and so we had like lots of conversations about, how to get going, what to do. Yeah. Also how to keep going, because, that's a part of it too. If you've ever done any nonprofit work, you usually get to a point where you like, you know what, I didn't realize it was going to be all this.
Because you think it's easier than,
Yeah. And then, and so just the stick-to-itiveness, and then you start running into things that you didn't prepare for, didn't intend. And so, but she's on it, man. She's doing her thing. And the community is going to be a lot better for it. I like the way that she also includes the youth in the design of the event. Like with the youth summit, one of the things that she did was she had I guess you can call it a focus group. And she asked the youth, like, what would y'all like to see? How would y'all like for it to be? And then when we walked in, it was like, oh, where'd that come from? It was like, well, that was their idea. Yeah. And so honoring what their ideas are, even if it's like, okay, that ain't my idea. I wouldn't have thought of that. And it was good. Yeah. But it was like, I wouldn't have thought of that. And so they like, she's honoring youth and including them in the process. So y'all make sure that y'all show up. Lake Vista this Saturday from 10 to 2. Even if they can't spend the whole day, just pull up.
It's a lot going on this weekend. We're going to talk about it 7 minutes after the hour, because it's 8 o'clock. So we're going to take a break because we got some bills to pay. Y'all can send us stars. We appreciate that as well.
We really do.
And tag a friend, tell a friend that we on and popping, because we got stuff to talk about this morning.
Right on. We'll be right back.
Someday we'll touch the sky. You're an angel. Look up, baby. Wipe all your tears away. I know it's been crazy, but keep your head up high.
Foot chase through the projects, dodging foreign objects. Street knowledge, I should've went to college. Odds stacked against me, surviving off instinct. 3 blocks from the precinct. Lil' homie caught a case, others lost family members. Product of his environment, projects produce violence in the middle of the streets, cause that's how we eat. Just a rap about the trap don't mean I ain't about peace.
We must stand together, all together as one. United we must stand together, fighting for each other till our race is done. United we must stand together, under God we are one. We must fly to the sun every day, fight
brothers, we all need each other. Children need their mothers and they need their dads. Taking a life that don't make you bad. The fact that you do that is so sad. Pocket watching, plotting on another man's cash. Pick up a book instead of picking up a gun. Increase your knowledge and that'll increase your funds. If everyone succeeds, then crime would decrease and people would live instead of resting in peace. Unity, that's what we need. Stand up and be a positive force in the community.
We are one, we must fly to the sun every day. Fight for peace, not destroying our dreams. We must stand together.
Must stand together.
All together as one.
As one people.
United we must
United,
stand
we shall rise.
Fighting for
And you fight for me
till our race is
till we
done.
see God.
United we must
United
stand
we will rise.
together.
Clap with me.
Under
Clap.
God, we
Clap.
are
Yes,
one.
sir.
We must
Clap.
fly to the
Clap.
sun.
G beat on the
Every
track,
day,
man, and I
fight
mean this
for
is from the
peace,
heart.
not destroying
Back and
our
forth to
dreams.
prison, cause my position in the ghetto is wishing. My dreams was in my hand, man, instead of so distant. Violent crimes on my record, showing judges I'm reckless. Yes, they think I'm rich and young, like Young and the Restless. Every time I see a young brother rich in peace, that could be the only time when I watch TV. Cause the struggling and suffering is all I see. Besides muscling and hustling at war with heat, I point the finger at the devil, boy, for taking my peace. Cause the only way to live is to take to the streets. But they rate me as a villain for the killing and dealing. For what? My last resort to make me a living. I don't give a damn, tell them so what? I'm gonna survive even if they threaten me with life. The arms of poverty held tight, making life a fight. But in the sky, we got to unite. Keep your head in the sky.
We must stand together, all together as one. United we must stand together, fighting for each other till our race is done. United we must stand together. Under God we are one. We must fly to the sun every day. Fight for peace, not destroying our dreams. We must stand together, all together as one. United we must stand together.
All right, just like that, we are back. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
And this is Kiana.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka CDAT.
See that.
And we like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because smart is
the new
gangster.
baby.
And if you don't know,
Now you know.
now you know.
Yeah.
Now you know. And so for those who missed the top of the hour, the first part of the program, we have a would you rather question. And today's would you rather question is, would you rather work at a job that you love and
don't get paid
and make just enough to get by, or work at a high paying job that you hate? Put it in the comments. Y'all engage with us, chat with us, share it with your friends. Good morning, Miss Teresa.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday. I remember my daughter said that. She was probably like 6, my oldest daughter. She was like, happy birthday. Birthday.
The things you remember.
Yes, I remember that. You say happy birthday. So happy birthday, Miss Teresa. And another shout out to Crutel for his birthday as well. Crutel providing healthy food options in a food desert situation. So yeah, y'all let us know. So headlines, lots of crazy stuff happening in the world, but I wanted to start with this thing that's happening in LA. I don't know if you saw that. The LA.
I haven't, but go ahead.
Okay, so it's protests in LA and the National Guard has been deployed to go out to LA. And so apparently they have been protesting these roundups and these raids and again, y'all help me with the story. I just saw like a clip, but basically there was like this ICE raid where they was going to Home Depot and they was like just rounding up people, and the people in LA started pushing back, and it's turned into like a whole full-scale riot. And Trump has sent in the National Guard to try and reclaim order, but him sending in the National Guard was against the wishes of the California governor. And so now he's in a situation where it's like, okay, the governor didn't want it, but Trump is doing it. You know what I mean? So thoughts, man. Y'all know we got history with protests and marching here in St. Pete. What y'all thinking? What do you see happening with this? Y'all let us know, man. What's going on? Give us a call, 727-637-2416, 727-637-2416. What's your take on these protesters in LA?
People getting tired. Like, it's shit. Like, I understand there has to be some, they're trying to control and do all this other stuff. Like, I'm not, but the way they're doing it is just unhumane.
Yeah. With which part of it? Because
like
the whole thing.
The sneak, like I can see you getting people who are like committing crimes.
Yeah.
And you sending them back. But people who just trying to make it and going to work, paying it, they pay their taxes. They like, all of them are not criminals.
My wife was telling me about a situation at a graduation where they basically raided the graduation. Like they were there to celebrate their children, and then in some cases they were rounded up and separated from their children at the graduation,
which is like, that ain't cool. Ain't nothing cool about that.
So there's nowhere that you can go. Like, you're not safe. And then even if you're documented, like we see that there has been cases where people like legit and got their paperwork and they still get rounded up and sent away.
And then they come up with reasons why you don't need to be here and all. I just like, I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's
what they said, ain't what you do, is how you do it. Sometimes,
right? It is,
most times,
and I think the thing
it's both. It's what you do and how you do it,
and it's who they're targeting.
Yeah,
because you have it like you're only targeting a certain group of people for the majority part of it, and not targeting, like, if this is really what you want, you're not targeting everybody.
Yeah, and then he let the Africans, the white Africans come. Did you? This is digression. I saw a thing where Trump basically tweeted saying Elon Musk need to go back to Africa. Did you see that?
So the white Africans, y'all ain't safe now.
Trump told Musk he need to go back to Africa.
But but see, he broke all the rules, right? Let him come in. Now he knows all the secrets. He can come in and infiltrate however he want to, because you gave him the golden key to do as he pleased.
Got access to all the data and all of them different departments and all of the things. But yeah, so y'all keep your eyes on this thing in the right. I got distracted by that because I saw when we was talking about immigration. But the other thing, be careful, like not to get caught up, right? Because
I was just about to say.
Go ahead.
No, you say it, because then I'll say it later, because that's why I was I think we're on the same page.
Okay, no, it was just like, they do stuff to how can I say, inspire you, to compel you to get out there. And then when you get out there, it's you know.
So here we go. If they're doing any if you scared and you would just like they know that you need something, be careful if it's like a big space, where they can round you up. Okay, like the graduation,
to
they
the
know
undocumented, to those who may be documented,
or you trying to get your stuff right, and whatever the case may be.
Yeah, whatever your status is, just know that
and just be like, there's a lot of stuff that's happening around here that that's supposed to help that may end up being hurtful. I'll say that, but we wasn't going to say the same thing. Gotcha. Actually, what I was going to say, and even though we're watching this Elon Musk and Trump thing unfold, they might be playing with us because they play in our face any damn way.
Okay, excuse me. It's motivational Monday.
Don't be surprised if they just back there laughing. Ha 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 ha. They think we're not friends. Yeah. To kind of,
good cop, bad cop.
Right. Because Elon Musk is taking a hit on a lot of stuff because of his political stand. And to do this and to bring down your guard to think that they are beefing when they not. So don't fall for the hype.
Right. Ms. Teresa says Trump just wants to use the National Guard to prompt violence and invoke martial law.
Yep.
And he wants to upstage the black woman who's the mayor of LA and Governor Gavin Newsom, both of whom Democrats. All political theater. Absolutely. Crazy, man. Yeah. So y'all keep your eyes on that. Another thing that I saw that he's pushing to end desegregation orders. So while the troops are rolling out there in LA, his education officials are also working to roll back desegregation orders, rules that force schools to address decades of racial suppression. So yeah, he's still, trying to, I guess, make America great again. That was the month.
So he want to keep us separate.
And in his mind, I guess America was great when it was, separate and unequal.
Okay, when it's separate, don't ask us for none of our damn money.
Yeah. You feeling it this morning.
No. Forget. Yeah. Remember that we pay your bills too. Okay, just remember that.
That's true. And but yeah, he wants to roll it back. And
I'm not gonna say the D word no more.
Yeah. I think we understand. And then I also saw that they said that they're not planning to. At one point, they was planning on garnishing Social Security for student loans.
Yeah,
they rolled that back, saying that it's actually, I guess you would call this a rare bit of good news. But the education department said that they will stop taking Social Security checks from seniors who owe student loans. What?
Seniors who get a Social Security check.
He was gonna get that. Yeah. Trump was gonna get that money.
Get some of that money back from Elon Musk because his project failed.
Yeah, the save $1 trillion or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they did say that they won't be garnishing Social Security checks in order to get student loans. But again, that's another one of those things that when America has a cold, black people catch pneumonia.
Yeah,
because COVID. We're disproportionately impacted by these garnishments and these federal debt collections and all of the stuff that they're doing as well.
Do you think people are too sensitive?
In what way?
Just in general, like we saw the post with Just Hilarious.
Okay, I did. Should have had that clip.
Oh, did
keep going.
Okay, but Just Hilarious and was saying that women or females. How did she say women? She said females.
She said only. So the context was this: they were having an interview with, I think she's a podcast influencer. She has a show on the Revolt Network, and as a part of the conversation, the woman was talking about her personal life and how her friends were saying, she's single now and she need to find her a man and what type of man she wants to have. And then Just Hilarious was like, well, I don't like that man for you. I would like for you to have a man who knows that only women can have babies.
Oh, got it.
Right. And so she just kind of threw that in there, I guess, because the person who they were talking about may have a different perspective, right?
Got it.
Okay. And so she was like, oh, I don't want him for you. I want somebody for you who knows that only women can have babies. And then the guest was like, well,
That's not true.
That's not true. Right. And she was like, what do you mean?
She was like, people got identify as women,
Yeah.
but only females or something like
What she said was, she said that woman is a, how do they say it? Basically like race, like how it's made up.
Yeah.
Right. But like you can only be, no, she said you can't be biologically woman. You can only be biologically male or biologically female.
Mm-hmm.
But woman is a term that's used to describe it, but it's not a biological term.
Yeah.
And so that's when,
And Jess was like, basically tomatoes, you know what I was talking about.
Yeah. And so she said women, only people with uteruses can have babies, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and find that clip so y'all can see it. I may not be doing it justice. But she was basically saying that if you got a uterus, you can have a baby, right?
Right.
And then they got agreement on that. But the thing, I guess, that kind of sent it on the downward spiral was when Jess said it, like people started attacking her, calling her transphobic because
that's not true. So that's the thing, that just because you speak your truth, and I said that even when we're talking about it, like, it don't mean I'm attacking. These are facts.
Mm-hmm.
These are facts. It ain't got nothing to do with somebody accepting or denying, liking or disliking, or, those are facts.
I'm putting this in the thing so people can have context. So Jess Hilarious says only women can have babies. Does that make her transphobic? Right?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay,
because she didn't say that you couldn't be who you wanted to be. Like, the beauty of America is you're born either male or female. Okay, right? Yep. But that ain't got that's God's making. But the beauty of America is that, like, at any point, once you get a certain, you can then change your identity.
And that's the thing. So when she's that was Teresa, grateful who. Oh, they on the Trump kick.
Oh yeah,
they gotta catch up to this piece. But the thing with the transphobia, and this is something that I'm learning, right? And I just got to shout out my daughter. My daughter has a perspective that I don't have, and she helped me to understand a lot of this conversation. Yeah. And so, again, agreement is one thing, understanding is something else, right? Yes. And I think that you can't. This is just a personal Brother John thing. You can't agree to disagree with something that you don't take the time to understand. Because usually it's just a cop-out. Well, we just got to agree to disagree. You're trying to move on, but you're not really listening to the other person to really see if you agree or not. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, if we having a conversation and it's like, okay, I hear you, but I don't agree with you. And then we start going around in circles about it. At some point, it's like, okay, we just have to agree to disagree. Right. So that we can move forward. Most people are not courageous enough, I would say, in some cases. You think most? Or a lot of people don't want, like, if you get into a thing that you really don't understand, then you just write it off and say, well, I just, we just got to agree to disagree. Or you just make the other person wrong. Okay. I mean, what you think? I mean, I like to explore, right? And I like to be knowledgeable about things. So, like, if I'm arguing, I'm shooting out bullet points, but I'm also one of the people who don't like to argue in a heated conversation, in the heat of moment. So, like, I can't see where people will say, I disagree. We just got to agree to disagree. Like, right. Like, that's a way to end an argument. But for me, agreement is based upon understanding. And if you agree to disagree, the agreement is because I understand where you're coming from, but I just don't agree with. Right. Like, I like to get to that place so that it's genuine, like let's clear that we don't agree. But we okay. You know what I'm saying? So, and I say all of that because the thing that I was being told and taught about was there's three different ideas, right? So you have as it relates to gender, right? And I hope I don't get canceled for this either, right? Because they'll cancel you and call you all kind of names. Good morning, Reese, my son on there. He ain't never up this early. What you doing? Yeah, I ain't never seen you on here. What it do? He just had an awesome show Thursday too. I'm so proud of him. Awesome. Okay. All right, and so here's what it is. So you have identity, expression, and then assigned at birth.
Yes.
You got that?
Mm-hmm.
Identity, expression, and assigned at birth.
Mm-hmm.
And so as it relates to the gender identity, right? So the identity, and again, this is all how I understand it. I may be wrong, may stand to be corrected. Y'all put it in the chat or
You're not
call
gonna
in
get
or whatever.
canceled for this, but go ahead.
But so you have your gender identity. That's how you identify. I am a man.
Yeah,
or
I am a woman.
Right.
Or my pronouns is it, he, she, or however.
not it.
No, some of them do.
Yeah.
Some of them is have
They,
them.
Yeah. So that's how you identify.
Yeah.
Right. So that's your identity. So you
take the it out, y'all.
Please and
please,
thank you.
All
right. Look, we having an on-air conversation to try and understand this a little bit better. And so the identity is how you see yourself and how you express not how you express yourself, is how you see yourself.
Right.
I identify as, male, female, man, woman.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have expression. So the expression is how you present yourself. So how you have like men who dress like Prince, for example.
He was feminine.
Well, his expression, he was all right with his feminine side.
Yeah.
So that's how he expressed himself. He identified as a man. But he expressed himself fully with perms and high heels, and that was his thing.
Yeah.
And then you have women who they identify as women, but they don't like to wear women's clothes. They express themselves in men's clothes. Mm-hmm. That's expression.
Yeah.
And then assigned at birth is like when they looked at you and said, "Yep, you're a girl, you're a boy."
Yeah.
And so that's where I guess the conversation is around identity, because when you say I identify as a woman, even though you're biologically male, that's how you show up. And the way that it was put to me, I know I'm kind of might be taking way too long with
Go
this
ahead.
because I'm just trying to
process people listening.
I'm processing it for myself, right? And so it's like if I walk into a room and I say I want you to address me as Brother John, and you insist on calling me Junebug, you're not honoring my identity. Like I'm asking you to call me by the name.
Your mama called you Cassius Clay. I'm gonna call you Cassius Clay.
The doctor said you was a woman. I'm saying you a woman. The doctor said you was a man.
Yeah.
And so that's where the respect thing comes in, because it's like if I'm coming to you and I'm telling you my name is Brother John, and I want you to address me as
it's
Brother
a respect
John,
thing.
And then you keep addressing me as something other than the way at a certain point you start to feel disrespected, because like now you're not calling me by the name that I use, that I chose to to give myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the issue comes in. That don't make you transphobic. It just it's like inconsiderate at this point, because if you're saying I identify as this and I want to be addressed as this, then who am I to say no, I'm not going to address you as that because your mama didn't call you that or whatever. That's where the conflict comes, and I think that's what the issue is and has been.
But when we're talking about so let's go back to having children, right? You can't change that. So like her saying that, like a man cannot come here and carry a baby. Yeah.
And that's where, so the debate was the idea of man is like black.
Yeah.
Like,
so because you said man and not male.
Yeah.
A male cannot carry a baby.
And only a female, because now you're talking about biology.
Hey, so this is what I would tell biology.
You. And I know it's complicated.
So this is when I say people are extra sensitive about male, female, man, woman. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they identify as the same. Yeah. I mean, that's how we grew up. That's how we grew up. That's the understanding that we have. If you're a male, then the default setting is man. Right. But now, in this age of information and so listen, double clicking and nuance, right? You have to give people. This is a lot. This is like it's a foreign language. Like what I mean? Yeah, I'm like processing it. Like I really had to like sit down and map it out and have conversations, right? So that I can understand where they're coming from. That was my point about agreeing to disagree. Right. Like in order to get to that space, like I had to take a minute to see if I can understand. Where are you coming from? Like, why are you so upset? Why are you so angry? And that's what it was put. It was like, if you tell me your name is Brother John and I keep calling you Junebug, at some point you're going to have a problem with that. You are. But see, this right here is, I get that. But then when you say, I was born a male,
Call me a pimp named
Oh my God, that gotta be you.
No, that's Renee.
Renee said what?
She said, "Call me a pimp named Slickback."
Oh.
And then Yubi says expressions aren't the reality of facts.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, like, it's just
because an expression is an expression. Like if how you dress is an expression, right? And I gotta we gotta ask Kiana that's dealing with some expressions that we're going to talk about. So y'all stick around for it.
Expressions are okay.
Expressions aren't the reality of facts.
I found my glasses too.
Okay, so but you don't have them on.
I don't. I'm leaving them where they need to be.
When you really need them the most. When you need them the most. So just if you're tuning in, y'all, you listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99 Gems, and we're talking about this situation that came up with Jess Hilarious. She said only women can have babies, and she got attacked for that because they were saying that made her transphobic. No,
that does not. That made her maybe unknowledgeable how, you know what I mean? Yeah. How you wanted her to say it. But you can't. Everybody always want to tell you how to say something.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. I don't see where that was an attackable moment.
Yeah, well, it's like, why would you attack somebody?
Right, because she said, woman, that could have been a teachable moment, but not an attackable moment.
All right, the phone's ringing.
Oh, yeah. Hey, caller, introduce yourself.
It's just me, Miss Q. How you doing, Brother John?
Well, what's good?
Now, let me flip the coin on you a little bit, Brother John.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying. Like you saying, I want to be called Brother John, and I'm calling you Junebug.
Right.
Yes, that would be disrespectful because I'm calling you something that you're not. Mm-hmm. In the same disrespect, isn't it disrespectful for you to try to make me to believe into something that you know ain't right? That'd be like me walking around telling you I'm a tiger.
Okay.
I'm going to go in the jungle and I'm a tiger.
You identify, as a tiger.
Wait a minute. And you know I'm not a tiger, or I identify as a dog, and I'm running around. How long do you conform to crazy? That's why the lines in the sand drawn, so that you know where you're going too far. Hey, your expression is one thing, but when you're trying to alter the facts, that's where the disrespect come in, and that's why everybody take it as a offense.
Okay.
You can express yourself however you want, but when somebody call out the facts, you want to have an attitude because you know deep down in your heart of hearts, this is not the facts. This may be how I express myself. I may express myself wearing purple. You may express yourself calling yourself Brother John.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful of them calling you something you're not expressing yourself as.
And see, that's the thing. That's the thing too, Yubi, that I had to learn. So you have expression and then you have identity. Right. So it's two things. So the expression is how you present. That's what you wear. That's how you show up. But then the identity is what is like how you refer to yourself. And so if I'm handing you my ID and my ID says this, right. And you know what I mean? Like this is how I identify myself this way. And I'm asking you to refer to me as that.
Yeah.
Right. Even though you don't agree with how I identify, I'm asking you to respect the way that I identify myself. And if I identify as a woman and I'm asking you to respect my identification as a woman, that's when the conflict comes in, right? Because you said I'm not going to do that.
You telling me to go, wait a minute. Now you telling me to go against the facts. It's one thing to go with your expression. Hey, if you want to be called something different or say something different, that's one thing.
Okay.
But for you to want me to go against the facts, that'd be like, I see a man go in the woman's bathroom, not with my mom and sister.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Because
I don't support that. Just to be clear, I don't support that.
Wait, I'm just saying you physically got the anatomy I got, and you could rape or molest my sister with the expression or under the expression or the identity that you identify as a man. No, we still gonna lead a line where it's at.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you got this anatomy, this is the bathroom you go in.
So
you don't go in the bathroom with my sister, with my mama, with no other woman, because
based upon how you identify. I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that. Like if you have
all right, I'm hanging up though.
All right.
Great conversation.
Great.
And
then we got some great comments too.
Okay. All right. So let's take some of those comments. Thank you.
Expression does not change the facts.
Okay.
Amen. Amen. Just go where you can express yourself. They have places for people to express themselves where they are respectable places.
Okay. And so how about the time when Black people were not respected as human beings?
Mm-hmm.
Like we identified as human beings, they identified us as property.
But see, we are human beings because that's a fact.
But it wasn't a fact to them. The reality to them was that we was
their opinion.
It was their justification for what they were doing in the name of economics. But whatever the motive was, they denied our humanity. That's what it is. And so we had to fight to be considered human.
Right.
Because they considered us property. They identified us. I remember seeing census documents where they had, they were doing inventories of what they had on their farms. And they would have sheep, goats, mules, and then they start naming people in the same vein.
But we know that is not facts. That was their opinion. And this is why, that was their opinion. That wasn't a fact.
Yeah, you had to fight it to make it a reality. And then the whole idea of race, race is who invented race? We talked about that a little bit.
But we know, okay, so we know where the division where they clumped and divided, right? And they got the group of people together because we know that back in the days, you look, the Irish stayed with the Irish, boom, boom.
But those are nationalities.
Right. But what they did was when they wanted to go against the Black people, they made them all white.
Well, that's the thing. They had to invent that. That's right. That's what they're saying. It's like it's a social construct, I think is the word that most people use. Like race is not a biological fact. Like you can't be born, I guess it's just a way that the way you identify somebody who don't look like you. And if you look this way, then based upon this chart, this is where you fall. Okay, you Black, you brown, you red, you yellow, you white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's like people are saying, well, that's all made up and inventive because when you do the blood samples and the draw, there's some nuance in it, but there's not a hard biological line that can identify anybody based upon their race.
And if you look at it, everywhere you go, I don't care, you're going to find all shades of people in every race.
Yeah.
Every nationality.
Yeah.
You're going to find all the shades of the rainbow there.
Yeah. Now I just thought about something because there was the white woman who identified as Black. Right? You remember her?
Yeah.
Rachel Dolezal.
She went, got braids, did all that other stuff.
And she said, I'm Black. Do you acknowledge that and say, yeah, you Black? Or are you nope, we not gonna you can't just identify as Black. Just like you can't identify as man or woman. But
this is what we have came to
that's why
you be saying
now you want to be a tiger.
And some people really think that they're tigers, and you see there's somebody that identify and they'll be out there in the forest, out there talking about
Tarzan. We got Tarzan on the line. It's like I said, it's that's why I started the conversation around agreeing to disagree, because I know it's a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not directly impacted by this stuff, a lot of times it's easy to just dismiss it. But when you have people who you love and you care about and they are dealing with this, it caused you to double click. And I had to double click on it because I want to make sure that I understand, even if I don't agree.
So what I would ask for them is so you was confused at one point before. I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm just talking about the person who identified. So how can I, do you know how you couldn't accept who you were, right? Because something was wrong.
Okay.
You can't force me to accept who you want to become it takes time. And so you think once you figured it out, everybody else is supposed to be right there with you.
Okay.
So you didn't accept who you were. Now you want me to accept who you want to become.
But what if, because this is the other part of it, when you say not accepting who you were, in their mind, who I am, if you're a man, who I am is a woman. That's who I am. And
you were born, I get that. But
if you were assigned at birth.
If you was assigned at birth.
Yeah.
male.
Yeah.
And you say somewhere down the road, no, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
You're not accepting what
what you were assigned at birth.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the facts.
Yeah.
Because either, you got prostates. you know what I mean? Like,
you got biology.
Right, which you
so
cannot change.
So should we focus? I wouldn't say focus, and I'm just putting this out. If you remove the idea of man and woman and you deal with male and female, does that make it simpler? Because if we're saying that man and because even like in the Bible, I remember reading the Bible and it talks about how God created man, right? Mm-hmm. But then in another verse, it says male and female created he them. So when it talks about man, it's not just talking about man, it's talking about man and woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it says, oh man, right? Or, the man. Mm-hmm. But then when it's getting into the two, it says male and female. So it's talking specifically about biology. But when it talks about man, that's including man and woman. There's commands in the Bible and the Holy Quran that are given to man. But it's understood that when it says man, it's man and woman.
Right.
So do we need to now have translations of the Bible that don't say man only? Do it say need
don't
to say?
Touch the Bible no more. Don't touch the Bible no more.
Don't touch it no more.
Don't touch it no more.
But you see what I'm saying? Because it says man, but you understand that when it says man, you include yourself in that woman.
That's what I was going to say, is that you find...
You all right with being man in that situation?
You find grace on things that you want to, and then the things that you don't, you pick an argument with it. Okay. Because honestly, she knew what Just Hilarious was talking about.
I think the way she handled it was brilliant, though. I think it was brilliant. Because it made it like I had to sit with it. Because again, I got the clip sent to me and I was like, yeah, I'm with Jess. But then when I started talking to my daughter, she was like, she gave me the nuances. She started giving me, the expansion of, and I was like, okay, so now I understand why you would have that issue, or why, this community would have that issue, because that's the way they see themselves. It's the name thing. Like if I'm telling you to call me this or address me as such, and you don't address me as such, then that's an issue. Now, again, there's deeper reasons, deeper significance, but just on the surface of consideration and respect, like I'm all right with, like, if that's how you see yourself, okay, and that's how you want to be addressed, I'll address you that way, because it don't take nothing away from me. It don't make me, like, it don't mean like, oh, I agree, and now you changing the, like, look, if that's the way, if those are the pronouns you choose for yourself, I may struggle with it, but I'm willing to struggle with it because I respect you enough and I respect myself enough, because the respect that I want is the respect that I give. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of how I deal with it. But again, you got agreement and disagreement, and people like, oh, Brother John, you supposed to be. It's like, I don't have to conform to y'all ideas.
You don't, but the same grace that you want people to give you, you got to give them. And a lot of times that's not given. It's like
it goes both ways.
It goes, but absolutely, a lot of times you don't get it on both ways.
No, you absolutely do that.
And that is the problem. Yeah, that's the real problem. Okay, and that's what I was trying to, like, the grace that you was given to figure out who you are. You're not giving anybody else that grace
to catch up
to where you at.
Okay,
and you got to give people that grace. But no, you decide today that you identify or you're this, and you say no. From this day on, it took you 25 years to get here, and then you decided that today is where it's at, and you think that it's supposed to take me one?
Like, you struggle with it all your life, and now I'm not supposed to struggle with it at all. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
That's the problem.
Yeah, like that's the inconsideration on both sides. Yeah, I hear that.
So,
and then also to be clear, like if I had to take a position, and I would take a position, like I don't agree with biological men, with males being in female sports. Like I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
Just because of the biology, even though you identify as a woman, if you're biologically a man, I don't think that that's appropriate for you to be competing, and that may get me canceled or whatever, but that's just my position. I don't agree with that.
And I agree with you. I'm 100% on that.
Like how you identify, how you show up. Okay, cool.
And I don't want you going in the bathroom either.
I don't agree with that either. If you're a biological male, I don't want you going into the bathroom with my daughters.
And it's not that I don't agree. Like I don't have sympathy for you, or I don't have empathy, and I don't think as saying that you're not who you say you are, but it's some people who are not who they say they are, and I'm not willing to take that risk with my loved ones, if that makes sense.
No, it does, because there was a man I read about who identified as woman, and I think I'm trying to remember what state it was. Y'all can Google it and find out for me and help me with this and put it in the comments. But there was a man who identified as a woman, and the state that he was in, the law said that they have to respect his identification. But here's the thing. He was in jail.
He raped all the women.
And so he was like, I think he got women pregnant in jail because he identified as a woman. They had to put him in the women's prison based upon the state laws. And he ended up like raping women and having babies, in prison, because of that loophole in the law that said you have to respect their identity.
And just because you identify as a woman or a man doesn't mean that you like the opposite sex. Because you assume that if I identify as a woman, I like men.
Right.
But just because I identify as a woman don't mean that I still don't like women.
Okay, there you have it.
Yeah. So
and that's why I said the biology piece, and I think it's a lot. It's a lot to it, but again, if you're not willing to do the work, then you won't be able to intelligently agree to disagree.
And to be honest,
you just agree, like how we do. That's just the way your mama call you Clay. I'm gonna call you Clay. I ain't calling you Muhammad Ali.
Right.
Like that's how we default a lot of times without like double clicking and say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but that's not.
And to be honest, is not bad to keep it simple, right? And then you can get complex in your tribe.
Yeah,
like the women's bathroom are really simple.
Yeah,
you know, and then if you want a family bathroom, you keep it. You do the family where people can go in there, but men's and women, then you don't have these things like you don't have these struggles.
Yeah, it's true. And I saw, and it's I'm gonna have to try and find it. I remember doing a training, probably about 5-6 years ago. And it talked about the different types of it talked about sexuality, because that's a whole nother thing too, right? So you got like the gender conversation, but then you also have the sexuality conversation. And I did not realize how many sexuals it was, right? Like you talk about pansexual, sapiosexual, like all of the different sexuals. That list was so long, man, that I may bring it just for us to review it one of these days, since we're having this conversation. Now that was the gender thing I was able to kind of follow, but like the sexual thing, that's when you start getting into preferences. And that's when you like really start to have more of a deeper conversation about what you choose, because a lot of those sexual things
and sexual should be behind closed doors.
Yeah.
You figure that out with your partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear that. All right. So, thank you for that. You listen to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99 Gems, man. Y'all put it in the comments. Let us know. Do you think that
respectfully?
Yeah, respectfully, please, and thank you. But it's a lot to it. And
why you looking? Because we got to ask Keanu. That's what you look. And why you looking at it? And so, and this is how we learn. This is how society accept things when they want to, and then go against it when they want to. We're looking at the Diddy trial, and the one thing everybody keep on saying is like, "Hey, that's his bedroom."
Okay.
Like
so his sexual preferences or whatever his things were, those are his things.
Them are his things.
Yeah.
And they saying that. Like everybody like, okay.
So I guess the issue is when you flying people in for you to do your thing.
Did he fly them in, or did they fly themselves in?
Did they get flued out?
Did they fly themselves in? Because they said they booked their own flight. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I guess that's the debate, right? Like if they flew themselves in, case dismissed. But if he flew them in for the purposes of prostitution and all of that, like I guess that's what the case is about.
It's a lot of people. Then there's a lot of people. It's a lot of people,
and they make songs. I got flued out.
Yeah.
And what you got flued out to do? It was an exchange.
Yeah,
right?
And they paying for the ticket. Let me put it. And then you don't hear from them no more.
Yeah, well, there you have it, y'all. So yeah,
don't get flued out unless you want.
But is that the thing? Like, just because they flued you out, is there an expectation that there's going to be sex involved or some exchange involved? Like, do people get flued out to just come in Netflix and chill?
Some may. You know, I don't subscribe to all.
That's what they thought they was going to do with Diddy, and
No, they knew.
yeah, I guess so.
All right.
All right, ask Kiana, y'all. We got to
Okay.
ask Kiana a question. That was a good conversation, man.
Mhm.
Y'all tell a friend, tap in, let us know what
Mhm.
you think about that. So the Ask Kiana is brought to you by the One Community Grocery Co-op. The One Community Grocery Co-op is on a mission to create a grocery store that's truly serving our community, by the community, for the community, and we need your help. Join as a member owner, and that means that you're investing in healthier food options, local farmers, and a strong neighborhood economy. To learn more, you can go to ocgc.coop, become a member today, and be part of building a grocery store that's owned by us and it's made for us. Let's make this happen. Let's do this together. All right. Ask Kiana. You're going to like this one.
Okay, am I?
Yeah.
I like all of them,
You
but
like
go
all
ahead.
of them.
No.
Why is my hair bonnet in public such a big deal? Kiana, honestly, I'm confused and a little annoyed about something. I wear my hair bonnet in public sometimes. Grocery store, quick runs, that kind of thing. But I've noticed people rolling their eyes at me and even giving me an attitude like I'm doing something wrong. Even my friend is always on my case about it, telling me I shouldn't do it because it looks ghetto or unprofessional. I don't get why it's such a big deal. I'm just trying to keep my hair protected and mind my business. Why does everyone else seem to care so much? Am I missing something? Or is this just people being judgy for no reason?
Okay, both. Two things can be two things can be right at the same time.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
People are being judgy.
Okay.
I'm one of them people.
Okay. You say people being judgy, you people.
I'm people.
Okay, I hear you.
If you see when my hair's not done, I always wear head wraps,
Mhm.
right? My family,
Not a bonnet, yeah.
Not a bonnet,
Yeah.
but they get on me by my head wraps,
Okay,
right? Sometimes,
okay.
Girl, do your hair because they know my hair not done, right?
Okay, that's. But I mean, that's how you do it.
Right. They be
When
like,
I need a haircut line up, I put a hat on.
right, and so I guess you're feeling that the bonnet is the equivalent to my head wrap or your hat, right?
Uh-huh.
But I do. I think it's tacky. Like,
Okay.
That's just me. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, some stuff need to be should be at home.
Okay.
And not out in the streets. The bonnets were made for you to go to sleep in.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
And to be for your night wear to
Okay.
protect your hair at night. They have things to protect your hair when you go out during the daytime. That's what you say society would say appropriate. I would fall in line with that, right?
Okay. Because there's ways you can protect your hair
without doing it.
without a bonnet.
Right, without
if
a
you're
bonnet.
going out and you being in public. But
right. I
yeah.
don't think you should wear the bonnet at work. Like when I see
Okay.
them I think that's so tacky.
People wear that to work.
Yeah, I think that's tacky.
A bonnet at
and
the
I just
job.
don't think it's professional
Okay.
whatsoever. And I think we have a society that feels like that you can express yourself however you want to when you
Mhm.
show up wherever you know, and
Yeah.
and there's so many lines that have been blurred
Okay.
that I believe that we need to get back to some
standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's just my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it don't necessarily make
So she
it
says,
right.
why does everyone else seem to care so much? Am I missing something? What is she missing? Is that what it is?
You know what? People care because they know what other people think of it.
Okay.
Right? Like, I care enough about you that I don't want people to think that you ghetto can't,
Yeah.
the stereotype that
is that
comes
what comes to your mind when you see it? Do you look
Yep.
at that person and do you become judge? Or do you look at this person
Yep.
with a bonnet on and be like,
and
okay, they
y'all
ghetto?
don't mean yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you
Yeah, no, I
white,
mean,
black.
yeah,
I don't care if you white, black. That don't
Yeah.
have nothing to do with your race or how
Yeah.
you're supposed to say it.
You just look at it and be like, that's inappropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you're out, like, and I done did inappropriate stuff too.
Yeah.
And people and I said they're gonna judge, but oh well, like let me keep it moving.
Yeah.
And so
But when you get the eye rolls, you expecting that because you
I'm
know that's
expecting
yeah,
it because and again, I'm not gonna be on you about it because I expected it because I'm kind of out.
Yeah, you out ethics.
Yes.
Yeah, like you have a certain ethic that you adhere to, and you know when you outside of that
Right.
ethic. And so when people look at you as though you're out ethics, you expect it.
And then sometimes when you're doing it all the time, right? You
Okay.
know what I mean? Because again, it's some grace
Okay.
that's given. Like if you
Yeah, like that's what. But here's the thing: she's saying, okay, I do it in public. She says grocery store, quick runs, that kind of thing. So if you're in the grocery, like when is it okay, and when is it not okay?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't. Like I'm really.
But you was
I,
never okay.
I say never okay, but I'm probably gonna like if you doing like you dropping the kids off in the morning at school, you get up, you still got your bonnet on, you're not getting out, you're not doing anything, you just do
Okay.
car line, and then you back home.
Yeah, got you.
I might get some.
But if you gotta go in,
go in and all that other
and
stuff,
sign them in and
do all.
Take it off.
Take it off.
Yeah.
Take it off.
Okay.
Take it off.
Okay.
Now
What y'all say? Put it in the comments, y'all. Let us know
saying something. I can't.
where y'all at with this thing. Let's see.
Don't be mad at me. Or be mad at me. I'm okay with it.
Let me see. Did they knowingly agree? Hold on. So I'm not out here to impress anyone. A quick run to the grocery store or Sunday after church. Child, miss me with that. I'm not trying to be a part of the world.
And that's fine.
Okay, so that means you would, Renee,
Renee wearing her bonnet.
She wearing her bonnet.
She wearing her bonnet.
She ain't studying nobody. She don't care nothing about it. Miss Teresa, my only reason for even mentioning that there's people who are intersex, okay, is because research shows that some of them can have children. That was on the previous topic. I'll come back to that if we get some time.
Okay.
But Miss Teresa, where you at with these bonnets? What you think about them? Bonnets in public, because this writer says that she don't see what the big deal is. Renee is with her. She says, I'm not out here trying to impress nobody. If I'm running to the grocery store, boom, boom, boom. Mama Blue says bonnet and house slippers. Tiffany Moore says bonnet should not be worn in public. In the car, dropping off somebody is different.
And I can see if like you're doing like an act, like because we did like for a bachelor party, like we all wear pajamas, like we all wore onesies to breakfast. That like it was something that like it was
like a theme
that we knew we was gonna get the stairs. Like we kind of knew, but everybody knew that this wasn't the normal. But I mean, live your life, do as you please.
Okay.
I'm one of them people. You gonna get the stairs. If you don't care, don't care.
So how about this? There was actually a post that asked this question. So we're gonna use this as an opportunity to engage around what the people say.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question was, do you think it's appropriate to wear a bonnet in public? The results were 80% of those who responded said no, it's not appropriate. Some said yes or conditional. Occasional was about 10%, and then the other nuanced takes was about 10%. What the people said, again, mostly no. Most people strongly said bonnets should stay at home or are only for bedtime. Common reasons were it's about respect and self-presentation. It's a big no, especially in schools or workplaces. Not appropriate, wear a hat instead. And some find it unladylike or ghetto, while others said it just looks messy. Mm-hmm. A few of people said it depends. Some of them said it's okay in emergencies like rainy days, or if you only stand in the car. A few admitted that they've done it. If I'm just running into the store real quick, cool. And then others shared funny stories about how they forgot that they had the bonnet on,
right,
and then felt embarrassed. And then, let us know. Y'all tell us what you think.
It's so many. Again, I'm so like I stand for stuff. Like I'm not. This is not a topic where like I gotta go argue about.
You ain't gonna do Monique.
No,
like full out. Like
no. I think I might say like if you come and interview with me and you got a bonnet, I'm gonna have a conversation with you.
Okay,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say,
I got you,
sweetheart.
Yeah. I'm
going to interview you, but if you're going to another interview, a bonnet is not where you need to.
So you wouldn't not do the interview?
No, I've done so many interviews where I feel like I believe in teachable moments.
Okay, I hear that.
And so and some people receive what I said, and some people don't come back, and that's fine.
Okay.
Like I done told like a girl done came in. I'm like, no, you don't come to the interview with your half top on and your booty shorts. That's not what you do.
Right.
When you come in, you need to be covered. You're applying for a job. Now I'm going to interview you.
Yeah.
And then after the interview, I'm going to say, I'm going to set you up for another interview to come in. And when you come in, I'm expecting for you to come in
to do this differently.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
And you know, and so I'll give you that grace because somebody needs to tell you because nobody told you.
Okay, because you done. If I'm your
Or
third or fourth interview, and
nobody, or you know, or somebody, sometimes you don't listen to your family. Like, you know what I mean? You got to hear from an outside source who's not attached to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some people don't listen all the time, and you hear from somebody else, you be like, ha ha. But if they didn't, I love you enough.
Yeah.
I love us enough
Come on.
I'm gonna correct you. You can be mad at me now and thank me later.
Right.
Like
right.
you may not come back to my job, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But then down the road, you're gonna think that lady did tell me this is what I needed to do.
Yeah. Once you start getting a bunch of those no's, and you have to reflect on like why I can't get these jobs or why I get the interviews, but I'm not closing the deal. Maybe something that you said to them will cause them to be like,
professionalism is real.
Yeah.
Like these are things
that's expression.
Right.
Okay. So now we back to expression because the way you express yourself is with a hot crop top and booty shorts. And that's how you express yourself all the time.
There's a time and a place for everything.
Okay.
So just like we were saying, like the sexual.
So should we like say, oh, well, you just got to accept me as I am. Like this how I dress. So,
yeah, we can. You don't get the job.
Okay. I ain't got no problem with how you express yourself. But
that's what I say. Like you can come, like I don't have to hire you for my job.
Yeah.
And see, that's what they fail to realize is that your expression can keep you not hired.
Okay.
And then we hop on,
they discriminating. So now you got a booty short march outside.
Right.
So now they protesting your business because you don't hire people who wear booty shorts to the interview.
And so you know what? That's fine, but there's a lot of other stuff that's added on to that you don't think about.
Okay.
The sexual harassment.
Okay.
And then you're gonna tell them that no, because I wear the booty shorts don't mean that you don't have to you should respect me, and they should.
Yeah.
But then you're dealing with humans who have, who react, who are sexual beings, and you're in a closed setting and all that other stuff. So you eliminate these problems as much as possible with a dress code.
Yeah, I hear that.
All right, now
all right, wow, great conversation. Good stuff. Made me think a little bit.
Final thoughts,
man. It's Monday, Motivational Monday. The week ahead is yours. And so whatever type of week you had last week, that was last week's week. So if it was good, do what you did and keep it going. If it wasn't so good, make the changes and make it better. Good, better, best. That's what I'm focusing on right now. I'm measuring everything in that way. Good, better, best.
Oh, I like
it. Can it be better? And am I really at the best that I can be?
I like this.
So, focus on the good, the better, and the best, and I think we'll be all right.
All right, be the change you want to be, and then stay tuned for Sister Hugh.
Make you lose your shoes and shout all around the house. This has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
And we out.